With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
He's a millionaire. He's a 2-time Guinness Book Award winner. He's a 3 times New York Times best-selling author. He's got the most downloaded podcast and the world's girthiest penis. Our next guest, Adam Carolla. What's up, Adam? How are you, brother?
I'm well now after that introduction.
Did I check all the boxes?
And then some. Nice job.
Very nice. I'm excited about this new book. Everything reminds me of something. Advice, answers, but no apologies. You're getting pretty good at this book writing thing. It seems like every couple of years you come out with one, and it seems like it was just yesterday you predicted we'd all be chicks, and look what you did.
Yeah, I was kind of prescient on that particular book. That's for sure. I did see that one coming. And people like that book a lot, and they should, because it's funny, and this one's funny, too.
I think maybe you've become dangerous for the liberal-run Hollywood machine. What was your breaking point when you finally said, no apologies, and they could kiss my ass, I'm going on Fox News?
I was just like, I'll go. If you invite me on your show, I'll go. That was always my policy. I didn't see any problem with going on Fox versus CNN. I didn't know even. I mean, I knew the difference, but it didn't make a difference to me. You're plugging a book, you're plugging a movie, or you plug in nothing. I used to do it all the time. If people just asked me to come on, and I'd say, yeah, fine. I got nothing to plug, but I'll share my opinion. And as long as you don't tell me what to say, then we're fine. And that's what Fox does. Now, once CNN sees that you've gone on Fox and they don't allow you on CNN anymore, which is not something they talk about, but that's how they do it. So they're basically sort of the ones that are sort of not exactly pro-free speech. I mean, if you see, like, Adam Schiff will pop up on Bill Maher's show, and Bill Maher will say, like, you should go on Hannity or Tucker and set them straight. And he'll go, yeah, I've been invited a bunch of times to go on those shows. But they're cowards. They don't want to go on the show because they don't want to be held to task. They're taken to task for stuff. But I'll go on any show. It's just once you end up on Fox, then you get relegated to Fox because they won't let you on other networks.
He's got nothing to hide, our guest, Adam Carolla. What's been the most profitable for you? You've done the podcasting. You're like the king of podcasting. You did morning radio for a long time. Movie making. You've made some great films, especially about car racing. And you've authored a handful of books. What seems to be the most profitable in your enterprise there?
Well, profitable is podcasting, but, you know, you get paid for books. You get paid a little bit for movies, docs, you know, production, that kind of stuff. It's just all a bunch of little hoses all kind of trickling into the same tub, you know. And some, there's a little more flow in some, and then some are sucking out of the tub. But in general, the New World Order is like you have to have 13 jobs and a bunch of different hoses all just kind of trickling into the same trough.
Well, hopefully we can get you 4 times New York Times bestseller with this new one. Everything reminds me of something. I saw where you have some brilliant inventions in this book that comes out today, by the way. Maybe one of these inventions could be a big breadwinner for you, make you maybe a billionaire. What are some of the inventions you talk about in the new book?
Geez, I can't remember. I talk so much about everything all the time. I have to go back and figure out what the hell I was talking about because I have millions of inventions. I think one of them in the book is called a beet bracelet, which is if you ever go to a restaurant, I love beets. You ever go to a restaurant, eat beet salad for dinner, and then the next morning you get up off the toilet and you think you're dying because you forgot you ate beets the night before. When you get the beet salad, they just give you one of those bracelets, like a Live Strong bracelet, and you just put it on. And, next morning when you're stepping off the commode, you can look down at your bracelet and go, oh, yeah, my innards aren't coming out. I ate beef.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Last night.
I can get through this. That's a good invention. That and much more in Adam's new book, Everything Reminds Me of Something. I'm curious. I have some names I'm going to mention to you. Unfortunately, in the comedy world, the last year and a half, it seems like we've lost so many greats. And I know you were close with a lot of these guys. So I'm going to mention a name, unfortunately, that we've lost recently, and then you tell me what it reminds you of. Obviously, it's going to remind you of something. We'll start with Norm Macdonald, the great Norm Macdonald we lost here in the last couple of years.
Norm was a friend and a funny guy, and a strange guy, but everyone loved him, even though he's very eccentric and super funny. And people used to mistake us for each other, which I always thought was a compliment. And he used to come on the podcast, come on my radio show, and we do a lot of really just funny riffing, and that's some of people's funnest and fondest memories is, us together just really, really working the improv hard. And he was so funny, so he was hard to keep up with. But my memories of Norm, we had fun times on and off the air, but we had a lot of fun times on the air, just free-flowing, long form.
How about Gilbert Gottfried? I know you were close with him.
Yeah, really the kind of the same thing with Gilbert. Just, same guy on the air as he was off the air. Funny, liked to improvise, liked to laugh. And a real talent. And I just don't think those guys, the Gilbert Gottfrieds and the Norm Macdonalds, I don't know if we're going to see the likes of them again. They're very unique guys.
And then a guy that could play a real straight father figure in Full House, and then talk about sucking dick for coke in a movie. Of course, the great Bob Saget. We lost him in a tragic accident. It seems as though. Have we gotten any more information about that? And what do you think of what do you get reminded of when I mention Bob Saget?
Just all-around great guy, funny guy. I did his charity. He did my charity. After he died, there's a couple pictures of us together, and the pictures were both at charity events. So the kind of guy he was. He was the kind of guy who was his sister had scleroderma. He threw a big event every year to try to raise money. He was just a gracious guy. I ran into him at a party just a couple weeks before he died. We had a nice conversation with his wife. He's just pardon the pun, a stand-up guy, and just one of the nicest guys. That's why when he died, everyone said the same thing. He's like the nicest guy in Hollywood.
And then I don't know if you knew this comedian very well, but iconic funny man Louis Anderson. Does everything reminds you of something? So what does Louis remind you of?
Louis would come on the podcast, and I've interviewed Louis a few times. And Louis, I've interviewed him when he seemed kind of depressed, and then I've interviewed him when he seemed kind of upbeat. And I didn't know him off the air, so to speak, very well. But when you do a podcast, you talk to someone for an hour, so you do get in depth with them. And again, just all talents, all very unique, all very different, and all very one of a kind, and all very, unlikely to have versions of them come down the pike.
I think it just goes to show, man, you never know when it's going to be your time to check out, and everybody's bickering and bitching about things that really don't matter too much at the end of the day. Maybe we should just kick back and enjoy some of those Carolla drinks and and stop worrying about fighting with our neighbors all the time and being all woke, no joke culture, as you call them.
Yeah, I'm with you. Crack a beer, chillax, and enjoy the ride because, as we've just illustrated, it doesn't last forever.
I know that you've been a president predictor in the past. In 2008, this is no bullshit, you predicted Trump would be president, and there is tape to prove it. 2012, of course, you were on The Celebrity Apprentice with him. I'm wondering if you have any predictions now. We're halfway through this Biden administration. Who you think is going to bring it home in 2024?
Well, I don't think Biden's going to run again because he's having trouble walking, and Kamala Harris can't because she has difficulty talking. So I will. If it's Gavin Newsom from California, I will move to Canada and or Mexico. So I'll say Ron DeSantis.
It's a pretty good pick.
Ex-president.
I live in the Sunshine State. You know, we've been living pretty well down here in Florida. When was the last time you came down to this part of the country?
I was probably down there, I don't know, a year ago. I play shows out there. I travel quite a bit. I don't think it's been that long.
Back in 2012, you were on Celebrity Apprentice, and you actually interviewed Trump well before then at the Playboy Mansion. So you know the guy before he was president and after he's president. I noticed that the season that you were on The Apprentice, a gay guy and a black guy were in the finals that particular season. I mean, does that show that maybe Trump isn't the racist, misogynist prick that everyone on the left says that he is? Or is he really a prick and a misogynist egomaniac?
He's definitely an egomaniac, but my sister would be an egomaniac if she did whatever Trump does, or accomplished whatever Trump's accomplished. And no, the racist, homophobic stuff is just the left losing arguments. That's all they do. They can't win a debate. They don't have the policy, so they just call everyone who disagrees with them racist. They just got done calling Larry Elder, a black man who was running against Gavin Newsom for governor. They just called him a racist. They'll call a Jew an anti-Semite. They just call everyone racist or homophobic, based on nothing, just wanting to win an argument that they're having difficulty winning intellectually.
And you interviewed Trump at of all places, the Playboy Mansion. What are your memories? What do you think of? It reminds you of something when you were at the Playboy Mansion with Trump. What are you thinking of at that moment?
I forgot that I interviewed him at the Playboy Mansion, so you just brought it up. So it was a fun place, another bygone era. Like maybe one day we'll go to heaven and we'll just walk into the grotto. It'll be Gilbert and Norm and Bob Saget waiting for me, along with Andy Loving, Playmate of the Year from 1979.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
It looks like your luggage is over 50 pounds. Is there anything you can take out?
Oh, yeah. Let me just toss all these $20 bills.
Great. Let me grab you a trash can.
Stop. Instead of throwing money away, move some clothes into a carry-on. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
I will have returned home.
Did you watch the Secrets of Playboy documentary as Hugh Hefner? You know, he got Me Too'd and 3'd and 4'd in that one. It seems like the women were just stacking up to urinate on his grave after the old man has set sail. Did you watch any of that documentary?
No, I didn't see it, but I'll look for it.
It's called
Where's it out?
Secrets of Playboy. A&E produced it. And it's, I think, like a 9-episode documentary where all these playmates from back in the 70s and 80s and people that worked for him, one of the disturbing things that came out, and I don't know if it's true or not, but someone says that he was bestiality. The women and the men and the drugs weren't enough, that he had to go for the dog. I wasn't surprised by much when I watched this documentary because I assumed a lot of this stuff was happening. But when you hear about him, banging dogs, that's kind of when you cross the line for me. But who knows what to believe nowadays?
I don't know. The answer is who knows.
So did you enjoy your time at the Playboy Mansion? It sounds like it. It sounds like it was the land of milk and honey. Good times.
Everyone enjoys their time at the Playboy Mansion, except for the guy who has to clean the grotto.
Our guest, Adam Carolla, make sure you go pick up his new book, Everything Reminds Me of Something. He's giving advice. What is some of the sound advice you're giving in this book? What's some of the best advice? I don't want you to give it all because I want you to 4 times be a New York Times bestseller. I want people to go buy the book, listen to the Audible version of the book. But give us a little advice here on the podcast.
I'll say this. If people listening to this right now, just go to Amazon, just review any book I've ever written. Just check the 5-star rating, read the reviews, read what the people have to say about it. If you want to laugh, you will laugh with this book. You get some good advice, you get some good insight too. But my books are always amongst the funniest books on Amazon. This is no different. And I just think in this time, people need to laugh, and this book is going to make you laugh.
And I would like to ask you for a little bit of advice. I heard you say on your podcast recently that you get away with saying horrible things about your wife and your kids on the show somehow. I know on my show, it seems like every time I bring up my ex-wife or my kids, it causes trouble at home. What's the best advice you can give a radio personality that's, trying to keep things nice and calm at the house? But you're also trying to entertain. You got to entertain, as you know, Adam. You got to spill some blood on the mic every now and then.
Yeah, I know. I think you just have to. I hate it that you have to stifle yourself, but unfortunately, when it comes to those matters, you do, even though I don't, or at least to some degree. That's the only place I would govern myself a little bit.
And then finally, Adam, this will be the last thing I'd like to ask you, but we talk a lot of sports here at the radio station, and I've come up with my starting 5 all-time great comedians, and like kind of like a basketball lineup. And so my starting 5 is I have Chris Rock at the point because it seems like he can take a hit and keep on licking. I got Seinfeld as my shooting guard. I'm throwing Bill Hicks in there as my small forward. Don Rickles is going to be my shit talker at the power forward position. And then the center that's going to be the big man is going to be George Carlin for me. So I got Chris Rock, Seinfeld, Hicks, Rickles, and Carlin as my starting 5. Who would be Adam Carolla's all-time starting 5 best comedians of all time?
Those are my 5 as well.
Those are your 5? Exactly? Seriously?
Yeah, I think you ripped them off from me. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
I think you pulled that off of my website.
I didn't. I swear to God, Adam, I did not pull that off of your website. I think you're lazy and you don't want to answer the question. But
those are my 5. And don't call me lazy. You pulled them off my website.
Man, you're bullshitting. But that's why we love you, Adam. Tune into his podcast and make sure you get the new book. Everything Reminds Me of Something. Thanks for coming on the show, Adam. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.